driver off the deck for Corey Connors.
Here's driver off the deck for Victor Hovland.
So the driver off the deck. I know you would try this, right?
Oh my, what a shot.
Just to be able to hit it off the deck and get that thing down and fly it in running.
You have to put your foot on the gas. You pull out the driver off the deck and you put it on the green all the way up the hill.
Welcome back to another episode of Off the Deck. Before we get into our guest, Greg, with the Pinehurst6, I'm thrilled to announce that we have a new title sponsor, Idika Golf. I'm rocking their Capri Polo tonight. I'm telling you, it's the perfect mix of clean, style, and performance on and off the course. Love this stuff. Steve Peering and his team have built an incredible brand. Head over to idika.golf and use code OTD25 for 25% off your order. That code is no joke. That's Idika Golf. Look good, play better. And once again, that code is OTD25 at idika.golf. Greg, welcome to the show.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I've started something recently where I allow people to introduce themselves before we jump right into the conversation. So why don't you do that for our guests?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Greg Galvin. I'm with the Pinehurst6. We are just a buddies golf trip. We go down to Pinehurst every year. This will be year 12 of the trip. So yeah, we started right out of college and we're just keeping it going. It started out as, 6 of us. I named the group chat the Pinehurst6, and we kind of joked around that it sounded like a 30 for 30. It's like, oh, the Pinehurst6. And so you're telling me there's a chance. So the name kind of stuck. We got 12 guys now, but I think we'll always just be the Pinehurst6 in our heads. But the Big Ten has like 18 teams now, so we can do whatever we want. Yeah.
So where is everybody from? Where are you from specifically, and then everybody else? You don't have to go through all of 12 individually, but where are most of you guys from, or where'd y'all go to college?
So yeah, we're all from Ohio. We've got one guy who lives in Chicago and one guy who lives in South Carolina now, but we're all from Ohio originally, and we all most of us went to high school together, and just kind of, got back together after college. A couple of us went to college together. So I went to Ohio State. A couple of people went to Wright State, a local college here in Dayton. And, we grew about 3 friend groups together for this trip. And, now we're all one big friend group. So
that's cool. So what was the origin? There are tons of places to go on golf trips. I mean, 12 years ago, I don't know that Bandon has been around for, I guess, 25 years now. They just celebrated that anniversary. But how did you guys decide on Pinehurst, and what was the genesis for that first trip?
Yeah, we always like to joke around. It started with a game of Madden. So our guys, Brandon and TK, were living together in college, and they were just playing Madden, and TK was like, hey, we should go on a golf trip. So he started doing some research, and he found this company called the Sandhills of the Carolinas, and he was like, hey, this is a great deal. We can go down to Pinehurst. We can play these 3 courses around the Pinehurst area. It'll be, a 2-day trip. Not very expensive. There, back, we can get it done. So that was the first year of the trip. It was just TK and Brandon. They went down there. They had such a good time. They were like, you know what? We need to continue this. We need to invite more people. And then the next year, we had 5 of the original Pinehurst6 go. And it was a great time. We had a lady who booked our trip for us. Her name was Mink Powell. She booked our trip for us for the first 5 years. And it was like, she became this mythical creature to us. Like we would get together in December and be like, all right, we got to fire off an email to Mink and tell her what courses we got to play this year. And she would get back to us like, perfect, got you booked, these tee times, let's get it going. And so year 6 came around, we fired off that email to Mink, and we instead got an email back from her husband, Larry, saying that Mink had passed away from cancer. So we had just decided, we are a competitive bunch. And every year we'd be driving home from the trip and say, I wonder who played the best, though. Like we didn't really calculate that. So we decided, all right, we're going to start a net tournament. Just take everyone's course handicaps, add them all up. So our buddy Chris, who's about an 18 handicap, he starts for the 5 rounds that we play. He starts at around 100 under par for the week. And then we've got our buddy
Okay.
Brandon, who's a 4 handicap, and he starts at about 20 under par. So, Brandon, we always joke, Chris sleeps on the lead on Tuesday night, and then
Right.
Wednesday we start playing golf. So we started that tournament, and we decided to make our trophy the Mink Pal Memorial Tournament. So we play everything for the mink. If you follow us on social media, you see that every post is hashtag for the mink. Everything we do goes towards that. And yeah, we're just trying to keep her memory alive because she provided a lot of happy times for our group. And we were really sad to see her go. So Larry booked our trip for 1 year, and then the year after that, we got an email from Larry's daughter Kelly saying that Larry had also passed away. So then we added the
Goodness.
Larry green jacket. Yeah, so we've got the Mink trophy, the Larry green jacket. Those both go to our winner every year, and Kelly booked our trip for a couple more years, and I think she finally gave up the business. But it was really special. We actually had Kelly come out to Tobacco Road 2 years in a row to present the trophy and the jacket to our winner. So yeah, that was great. Loved those moments. But yeah, always got to start with that because, just
Yeah.
like everything we do, it's for the mink.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you ever meet her and then Larry also, or no?
We never met Mink. We never met Larry. Just met Kelly a couple times.
Okay, but conversed with her, I'm sure, a ton over the years of trying to get the trips planned.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
She was the go-to. Yeah.
That's very thoughtful in you guys, of you guys, and something that this day and age, a lot of that kind of gets overlooked, I think, and people just, oh, okay, let's move on to the next person. But the fact that you guys have honored her and then honored Larry, that's really cool. That's first class. I did not know that.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Anything we can do. I mean, she was special to us, even if we never
Yeah.
met her. We were big fans. So
So you got some guys playing Madden and decide, hey, let's go on a golf trip. What did the evolution of this look like? I mean, because it goes from just 2 guys playing Madden and talking about going on a golf trip to now a full blown Instagram account with nearly 8,000 followers. Tell me about that, because that's some of your videos are great and love keeping up with your content, because you guys just started off as a golf trip and it evolved over time. But how did that whole thing transpire, and you guys create this kind of niche following?
yeah, I mean, so I think it started with the group chat being named the Pinehurst 6 and us joking about it sounding like a 30 for 30. And then I kind of ran with that during COVID. I got bored and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a golf page for our group. And we started out doing like challenges while we were locked up during COVID. Like everyone record yourself juggling a ball, see how many times you can juggle a ball. And then,
Okay.
we'll post them all, and whoever, wins kind of thing. And started with little funny challenges like that. And then I started, just getting more into the content of it and trying to relate everything back to golf trips and what we do in Pinehurst and how much fun we have. So yeah, started just being bored during COVID, and it's kind of evolved from there into something I don't think any of us saw it being. But really, I'm just trying to make our trip as cool as I possibly can with the page. So anything I can do to be additive, then I'm gonna try to do it.
So you mentioned that you guys would email Mink in December. So what is the timeline of the trip? Because that's one of the things I wanted to kind of pick your brain on, because I've been on a handful of golf trips. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have too, but you guys probably have this down to a science. What was the timeline like? December is the initial email. When do y'all typically go?
Yeah, so our trips are normally in like June or July. June 20th, I think, is when we head out this year. 56 days from today, whenever that is. Um,
Not counting down or
got the
anything.
count. No one's counting. Yeah. Um, but yeah, we normally, we get a text in the group chat around November and tell people, hey, vote for what course you want to play this year. So we play 5 courses, and something we started last year is we have a champions round. So whoever won the Mink last year gets to pick a course that doesn't have to be voted on. They can send us anywhere they want. So we're voting on our top 4,
Okay.
and
All in the Pinehurst area,
then
though, correct?
all in the Pinehurst area. Yes,
Okay.
sir. So yeah, so our guy Chris racks and stacks the votes, gets a list, and then in December we have what we call a meeting of the minds, where we head out to a brewery somewhere and have a couple beers and get the calendar books out and say, all right, when are we going on this trip? What week works best for everybody? And as you can expect, 12 guys, it's gotten harder and harder as the years have gone on.
Right.
We as kids come along and wives come along and all that good stuff. Things have gotten a little bit more busy for us, but we still find a week every year to get out there. Um, yeah. But you got to do it early. You got to do it in November, December, or it's just not going to get done. So that's something we look forward to every winter, is to getting together and getting that on the calendar.
And are you guys? So it's always Pinehurst. Are you guys staying on property? Are you only playing? I mean, you mentioned Tobacco Road, so that's not a Pinehurst resort course. What does that look like in terms of accommodations, hotels? What are you guys typically doing there?
Yeah. So we are big proponents of, like, the Pinehurst area is just a golf mecca. Like, you don't have to stay
Crazy.
on, yeah, you don't have to stay on property to play insane courses. So we have actually never stayed on property.
Okay.
This year we have Pinehurst #1 on the docket. And that's our first Pinehurst resort course that we've played. Time will tell, because the last time we had actually still Pinehurst #1 on the docket. I forget which hurricane it was, but that blew through that day, and we ended up spending like 6 hours in Mid-South's clubhouse waiting on the rain to blow over, and then had to cancel. We were supposed to play 36 that day. We were supposed to play Mid-South starting at like 8 a.m. and then Pinehurst #2 or Pinehurst #1 at like 1 o'clock, and had to cancel the Pinehurst #1 trip and just stay at Mid-South all day. And then we ended up getting out. I think we played around 2 o'clock at Mid-South instead of 8 o'clock. So if it gets rained out again, it's just bad luck, and we got to stay off property. But we do get out on the Cradle every year. This will be, I think, the 3rd or 4th year in a row that we've done the Cradle, and that's always a fun time. So,
Yeah, the Cradle's great. So now
yeah.
I'm fascinated. This was not part of my questioning or thoughts that I wanted to hear from you, because I was expecting that you guys would spend most of your time actually on the Pinehurst Resort playing those courses. So now I want to hear, because I've played 3 and 10 and the Cradle, and I've played Tobacco Road and Tot Hill. But where all have you played? What are your favorite spots in and around Pinehurst that people don't know about because they're too busy on the resort courses?
Oh man, it's chock full, man. So this year, let's see if I can run through this from memory. This year we have Mid-South. That's our champions course. That's where TK is sending us this year. TK won the Mink last year, so shout out him. That's an Arnold Palmer design course. They call it the King's course out there. It's different than any course that you'll play out there. It's more resorty than like Sandhills golf, but it's still got some Sandhills qualities to it. We're playing at Pine Needles, which has hosted 2 LPGA US Women's Opens. A fantastic course. So recommend that to anybody. It's a Donald Ross. So yeah, you'll get, the false fronts and balls. You hit a ball out of a bunker and it rolls right back into the bunker, even though you think it's on the green. All that frustrating stuff that I just love so much for some reason, because I hate myself, I guess. Um, let's see. Okay, so we got Mid-South, Pine Needles, Tobacco Road. Um, uh, I'm just gonna go through my favorites and it'll come to
Yeah, that's
me what
fine.
courses we're playing this year. Sorry, Tullamore is one of my favorites.
Hmm.
It's another kind of resort out there.
I have played
They've
Tullamore,
got
and I'm embarrassed that I didn't mention that because the llama logo is
yes,
incredible. They got a cease and desist from Augusta National for that logo, and apparently framed it and put it in the clubhouse,
it
which is
doesn't surprise me. Yeah,
incredible. Sorry, okay, but go through your favorites.
no, yeah, Tullamore is my favorite. That's like I've heard from people who have played the resort courses multiple times and have said that Tullamore's greens are the purest in the area. So love that place. Let's see, there is a place called oh man, okay. Now I'm gonna forget all of the courses. um, let's see. All right. Pine Wild is another good one. They've got 36 holes.
Pine
Um,
Wild. Okay, I've never even heard of Pine
yes.
Wild.
Yeah. Um, Mid Pines is another good one. We've only played that once. We actually like got a torrential downpour in the middle of the round, drove back to the clubhouse, and they're like, "Yeah, it's supposed to stop raining in 10 minutes. You should be good to go." And I mean, in Ohio, if it rains like it was raining, you're done playing for
Right.
the day. But yeah, in the sand hills, it's like, yeah, it's all based on sand, so it'll drain real well, and you can go back out there. And we did. We finished. It was a great night. Actually had to our approach shots into 18. There was a wedding reception happening like 20 yards off the green.
Oh boy.
So it was probably the most nervy approach shot I've ever had. Because I'm like, I might blade this into a wedding cake if I'm not careful here. So, um, so yeah, so Mid Pines, another great one. Um, Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find the list of what we're playing this year. All right, here we go. Yeah, okay. Now I feel like an idiot here. All right, so we're playing Southern Pines.
Okay.
Southern Pines is probably one of our favorites out there.
Yeah.
It went through a renovation a couple years back. We played it before the reno and now after the reno a couple times. The layout is one of the things that we fell in love with. It flows so well, and then after the reno, it's like, oh man, this is beautiful. It's another old Donald Ross, and actually during the renovation, they rediscovered a secret hidden hole that Donald Ross had put in. It's like in between the fifth and sixth hole or something like that, and it's just a little like par three onto a sand green.
What?
And yeah, and it's just kind of like, hey, if you're waiting on the group ahead of you, just hit a shot into this little sand green and play closest to the pin with your buddies, and then hit your tee shots on the sixth hole.
That's cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, they've got a plaque by it and everything. So yeah, that is a course that I recommend to anybody that's in the area is Southern Pines. So we're playing Southern Pines, Pine Needles, Pinehurst number 1, Mid-South, and Tobacco Road. So those are our 5 this year. There is a course that is the home of U.S. kids golf that I forget the name of right now. And it is one of my favorites. So I need to look this up.
And that's when you are playing as well, or one you're just hoping to get to?
No, I'm just naming my favorites now.
Okay. And of course the cradle. The
Um,
cradle. So we all try and do the cradle every afternoon, or what does that look like?
So we do the cradle just one night. We actually started last year. We turned it into like a mini Ryder Cup format.
Oh, what a
In the
fun place
middle
to
of
do
our
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In the middle of our mink tournament. So we do this year's champion and last year's champion as the captains.
Okay.
Pick teams and go with it. And so yeah, I mean, since you've been there, the great thing about the cradle is you pay one time and you can go around as many times as you want. You just need Ed to tell you if you need to wait on a group or whatever once you get back to the clubhouse.
Right.
But we actually had 2 guys get holes in one last year at the cradle. So that was a really crazy night.
That's cool.
Yeah, both of them on number 3. Just kind of threw it up by the cradle crossing and let gravity do the work. Um, and yeah, it was really fun. Both time, neither time I was in the group. I was on the second tee box both times, so I didn't get to celebrate with either one of them.
But I'm sure you heard it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Heard it, ran over, hugged them both. Yeah, it was.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, a lot of fun.
So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, you.
So when did this become? And I kind of mentioned it earlier when we got off rails talking about golf courses. Did you decide like, okay, this is a thing, and let's make this an Instagram account and start posting these and making videos and cataloging the trip? Was that COVID?
I mean, yeah, that was COVID. That was just me getting bored during COVID and then running with it from there.
And so now you said there's 12 people, right? Total?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I do think the Instagram account did a good job of growing the group because, our friends would see all of the clips of the trip and be like, "Hey, what do I have to do to get invited on this trip?" And we're kind of like, "Well, we didn't even know you wanted to go, but yeah, absolutely."
Right. Say
So,
less. You're in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, we just started adding people. I think 12 is a good number to have. There's still a couple guys that I would love to get down there. Um, but yeah, we've had people kind of rotate in and out the past couple years. So we still might end up with 14 or 15.
Yeah.
But the more you add, the harder it gets to schedule.
Right.
So
what's the biggest
there's a
mistake
tipping
or
point.
biggest challenge that you have experienced or have learned from in booking a trip over the past 12 years?
Oh gosh. I would say the biggest challenge is just getting everyone on the same page. Like communication is key, and as a bunch of dudes, communication sometimes varies.
Right. It can lack.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we've got guys that answer the group chat every time someone asks a question, and then we've got guys that we have to text separately and say, "Hey, look in the group chat and
Right.
answer all these questions." So just getting everyone on the same page is probably the biggest challenge. But since this is year 12, we've been doing this for over a decade. People are normally keen to stay up on things and fall in line, kind of.
Yeah.
So
Is-
we've worked through those.
Other than the mink and Larry's green jacket, is there something that you guys do or somewhere you eat, something that is a tradition of every one of these trips?
We're creatures of habit for sure.
Okay.
We go to the Pinehurst Brewery every year, at least once. We go to Dugan's Pub every year, and it's just, if you haven't been, it's just the little like the top is actually a fairly nice restaurant, and then you go into the basement of Dugan's Pub, and it's just a little dive bar that has karaoke on Wednesday nights. And we actually started a tradition a couple years ago where whoever finishes in last place of the mink standings, we get to pick the song that they have to sing in karaoke.
That's strong.
So
that's really
yeah,
strong.
It is. We've had guys, drive to the course the last day and say, I just gotta not finish last.
Right,
Like I
right.
can't sing karaoke next year.
And it's, just singing karaoke is one thing, but the fact that you get to pick the song, you could put somebody in a bind in a hurry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had guys singing the I'm a Barbie Girl song, It's Raining Men, which It's Raining Men is one of those songs where you think you know it and then you play it and it's like 6 minutes long and no one knows anything. Yes, I had no idea. So our guy Fogue was in a bind bad. Like, we were all ready for that song to be done. But yeah, it's never a song that you want to sing, and that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, yeah. So are y'all typically booking in a big Airbnb, or what does the lodging normally look like?
Yeah, so we're typically in an Airbnb now. We started out with rooms at the Best Western, and
Nice.
then we moved to condos. And when it was 6 of us, that was perfect size for the condos um, around the area. And then we moved to 12, and we broke out. Well, we moved to 8, and then we broke out into 2 condos, and we hated that. We hated not being all together after being in one condo for however many years. So that was when we made the decision. We're just booking a Airbnb kind of outside of the accommodations, because we would book everything together, the condo and the golf through the same company. And then we were like, you know what, we're just going to book the golf. We're going to book an Airbnb by ourselves, because we want a central point for us to all come together and just be friends at the end of the day after competing against each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Airbnb has been a big addition. I would recommend it to anyone uh planning a trip. I know the resort calls a lot of people's names, and that's got its perks as well. But if you're not going that route, just do an Airbnb and have a couple family dinners and
Yeah.
get together.
What company, if you want to give them a shout out, have you used to book your tee times? Because you're playing some awesome tracks, and I know those places have a ton of play. Who are you using to set those up for you?
Yeah, I think we've booked through Talamore the past few years.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, before that it was Golf Sandhills of the Carolinas. That was Mink and Larry and Kelly. And I'm pretty sure that company no longer exists. So we'll shout out Talamore, because Talamore books all of our golf. And yeah, they do a great job.
That's awesome. It's the only golf course, to my knowledge, Talamore is the only golf course in the Pinehurst area with pot bunkers.
Yes. Yeah. Got a little Scotland feel with those
Yeah.
pot bunkers with the sod faces. And yeah, you don't want to be in them, man. It's
I
rough.
ended up in one. It was up against the face and had to hit a wedge backwards around the face and out the front of the bunker to then try and hit it on the green. And there's video of it somewhere. It was awesome. But that's the kind of
That
stuff you love, right? Like having to hit that silly shot. I mean, if that frustrates you when you hit it in there, don't hit it in there, right? Like, um,
Yeah, exactly.
so you've got these 12 or so guys that you go on these trips with, and I don't want you to do anything to endanger any friendships, but I've got a couple questions for you about the group. Who is always late to a tea time?
Me.
Okay.
I'm, I am the worst at that, honestly. We joke around that I play out of my trunk, because I'll show up and everyone else will be at the range. And especially around here, I do a great job of being on time during the trip. But around here, I pull up to the course on 2 wheels and run to the first tee. A lot of times somebody has to go in and pay for me, and I Venmo them. I don't know what it is, man, but I run late to tee times. I never miss a tee time, but I am on time.
So, okay. Who is the biggest sandbagger in the group?
Oh gosh. All right, I got to go with our guy 2.0. He got that nickname because he's the second TK of our group. We got Tyler Curlin and Tyler Knoll,
Okay.
and both of them go by TK. So Tyler Knoll is 2.0. He won the Mink 2 years ago, and we all record our handicaps on 18 birdies. That's
Okay.
just the app we use. And he is known for like not recording a single score on 18 birdies until 3 weeks before the trip. And
Just so he
then he'll
has
play.
a handicap.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then he'll play like every day, and it'll be like 97, 96. And then, a week before the trip, it'll be an 84. It's like, oh, come on, dude, what are you doing here? So Yeah, shout out 2.0. He won't be surprised that I called him the biggest sandbagger.
That's awesome. I would imagine someone kind of holds the bill for all this, or at least puts their credit card down. Who is always the last to Venmo for their part of the trip?
Ooh, that is a good question. I would say that is a tie between three of us, just because I've gotten this text. So it is myself, 2.0, and Chris, or not Chris, our guy Mark. Chris puts the money down normally,
Okay.
and we'll normally get the text like, "Hey, everyone else is paid. Come on, guys." And
Yeah.
it's honestly because it just slips our minds, and we're like, "Ah, crap. Yeah, you're right." And then it gets done. So it's a tie
Right.
between the three of us, but yeah, it's mainly just because, we're busy with other stuff.
Yeah, and I get that. I've had to be that guy because I've got a trip coming up in July, and it's 16 of us, and it was a big number that I had to put on my card. And I was like, hey, like I would really like for my wife to know that I have your payment. Just, is there anybody in the group that complains?
I don't know. I think we do a good job not complaining. I'm trying to think. No, not really. I
Nice.
don't think we have any complainers. We're all,
solid group.
yeah, we're all pretty happy to be there once we get down there.
Yeah.
It's golf heaven, and we're all on vacation. So
Right.
yeah.
Have y'all considered taking the trip somewhere else other than Pinehurst?
We have considered it. We've been talking about it. But so 2 years ago when the US Open was in Pinehurst, we stayed in Raleigh and played courses around Raleigh, and then drove to Pinehurst for Thursday of the US Open.
Okay.
And it was really fun getting to play different courses, even though it's in technically the same area. At the end of the trip, we were all kind of like, man, we can't wait to get back to our courses next year
Yeah.
that we always play. So we've discussed possibly, if we can get this past the wives, a winter trip where we go somewhere else, and then the summer trip in Pinehurst. Because we would love to branch out, but we also know that we'll miss Pinehurst if we ever go anywhere else.
So if you get the approval from the wives, what other locations are on that short list?
Oh man, so Bandon is a big one. There's a couple courses up in Michigan that we've liked to go to. A couple of our guys went and played. Is it Arcadia Bluffs?
Yeah.
Up there. Yeah. And they, highly recommended that we all go do that. We end the trip every year on either Tobacco Road or Tot Hill.
Okay. You like getting
so-
stranced at the end of the trip?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good, soul cleansing for
Yeah.
for
the
our
listeners that
drive back.
For the listeners that aren't aware of Mike Strantz, he someone on the show said that he probably built the golf courses while he was on acid. And there are tee shots where you can hit driver, but the right play is hitting 6-iron to the middle of the fairway. But driver, it's there for you, but you better hit it right. And if you don't hit it right, you've lost your golf ball. But changes in elevation, blind tee shots, blind approach shots, gnarly shapes of greens, I mean, they are a blast. I love them. I know there are people that despise them. I love them. I think they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We're the same way. I've talked to people in the clubhouse that have called it gimmicky before, and I don't know. That's just not me. Like you can have that opinion, but
Yeah.
I like to think creatively on the golf course, and a Strantz course gives me every right to do that.
Yep.
You've got hills and backboards and all sorts of stuff that you can, throw your ball 30 yards left and just watch it funnel to the hole if you want to.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But Mike Strantz has another course out in Myrtle Beach, I think, called True Blue. So that's another one that we discussed going out there and giving that a run because
Well, if you need
he
someone to
hasn't done
talk
us
to
wrong
about
yet.
golf down there, the salty golfer who was on the show just a week or so ago, he is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to golf in Myrtle Beach. We talked about that course for a little while. But yeah, that Strance is awesome. So why do y'all finish the trip at either Tot Hill or Tobacco? What's the reasoning behind that?
I don't think there's a huge reason. I think it just became a tradition.
Okay.
I think we, did it 2 or 3 years in a row, and we're like, this is a perfect closing round. Part of it is that it's about 45 minutes to an hour north of where we stay in Pinehurst, so it's kind of on the way home.
So y'all
So
are flying out of Raleigh.
we're driving, man.
Oh,
We're,
what?
Midwest boys. We drive.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So what's the drive from Dayton to Pinehurst?
It's like
10?
8 hours. It's
Okay.
not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, it's a work day, but it's not too
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, we have our, our little traditions on the way down. We stop at Sheets and get lunch, and it's we call each other out when we pass certain milestones on the highway. There's a sign. It's just a gap in the mountains, and it's called Fancy Gap. And our guy TK said Fonse Gap one time, so that's the
That's
joke
stuck
every time
forever.
we pass it. And
Yeah.
every time we pass it, we send a video to each other. Fonse Gap. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's just that's part of the trip for us. We just talk golf. I am a known hater of Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
So our guy James bought me like a booster pack of Live Golf trading cards the other last year and made me rip them in the car. And he was like, "I hope you get like an auto Bryson DeChambeau refractor 1 of 1 that's
Right.
worth $500, and you can't even be happy about it because it's Bryson." But yeah, just little stuff like that where we just rib each other on the way down. It's a lot of fun.
Which, in light of recent news, if you've held on to those cards, they might become worth something one day.
I know. I think I ended up giving them all to James because I don't think I had any hits and I didn't really want them. So I was like, "Here, you bought these."
So I love that you guys have kept this going for so long. If someone's on the fence about planning a golf trip with friends, what would your advice be?
I mean, if you're on the fence, you got to do it. Like, this is something that we look forward to all year round. It's like we talk about it constantly. It takes up way too much of my brain. I can tell you that much. But yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence, do it. Rip the Band-Aid off and start early. Start planning early, because if you're just talking about it right now, it's not happening this year. You gotta get it on the books early. You gotta start talking in November, December, and get everybody on board and get it booked. So yeah, start early, get it booked, and just do it. Those are the tips.
And if you had a perfect y'all go what, 4 days to Pinehurst?
Yeah, 4 days, 5 rounds. So yeah, we have 1 day where we play 36.
Okay. And what is the perfect itinerary for a 4-day trip to Pinehurst look like for you?
Oh man, okay. For me, let's see. I would go, so drive in on Tuesday, wake up on Wednesday, play Southern Pines, play Talamore in the afternoon. Go to Southern Pines, or go to Pinehurst Brewery, go to bed, wake up, take it easy that day, only play 18 holes, go to Mid-South. Maybe take a round around the Cradle that night, go to Dugan's, sing some karaoke.
Yeah.
Then the next day we will do, let's see, we will do Mid Pines, and then just kind of hang out, have a family dinner. That's the second to last day of the trip, so just kind of rest. You're going to be tired.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, drive to Tobacco Road, play Tobacco Road, and go home.
Yeah.
Another great thing that kind of put it on the short list of the last rounds of the trip is Tobacco Road has a really great shower in their clubhouse.
Do they
So
really?
you can, oh yeah, dude. So you can shower off all the sand and grime and everything and get, a nice change of clothes and then be ready for a
Yeah.
7-hour car ride home. So you don't have, 5 smelly guys
Right,
and
all the
smelly
same
golf
people.
clubs.
God, that would be
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah.
Driving all the way back to Ohio.
Yeah, I think that would be enough for me to buy a plane ticket if we had to
Right,
do that.
right.
But yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, drop me in Raleigh. I'm flying home.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got a couple quick questions and then we'll get you out of here. I appreciate you taking the time to talk about your guys' trip and just how it's evolved over the years. Um, what's your single favorite course in Pinehurst?
Mine is Talamore.
Okay, that's right.
I
Sorry, you
know.
said that already. What is it
Yeah,
about
no,
Tullamore? Just the layout or the greens? What is it?
it's a combination of a lot of things. Yeah, it's the layout. It's like we talked about with the pot bunkers. It's a little bit of that Scottish like links style feel. It's the llamas.
Yeah.
The logo, the clubhouse, everything. They've got a TrackMan bay for their driving range, so you can like get your numbers dialed before the round. The greens are the most pure greens I've ever putted on. Um, yeah, it's everything. I love that course.
Nice. What is your favorite club in the bag right now?
My favorite club, I probably will have to go my 56 degree. Um, I I love that club. I'm not the longest hitter, but when I get around the greens, I'm usually pretty good. So
Okay.
yeah.
Dream foursome, dead or alive? Who would be in that foursome with you?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I've thought about this and I still have no idea. Um I'm gonna go man.
Bryson.
Yeah.
So Bryson,
Um
Patrick Reed, and Sergio. That's it.
oh yeah, that's 3. No. I'll go, I mean, just to make it easy, I'll go Arnold, Jack, and Tiger.
That's strong.
Just play with, a
Yeah.
couple of the goats.
Okay. And lastly, do you hit it off the deck?
I do, man. I try as much as I can. Our guy Mark will, just see a random tee box and be like, "Oh, this is a perfect dot hole." And I'm like, I don't know what a perfect dot hole looks like,
Right.
but
Me either.
I love the confidence. Yeah. So he'll, hit a normal one and then he'll just throw one down and dot one. Um, but yeah, I do try to as much as I can because I just think it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, and you never know what's going to happen with it. It can go anywhere, but it's also the easiest club in the bag to hit, even though it's on the ground.
Somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but it is. Greg, thanks for taking time to share the story of the Pinehurst 6. I look forward to keeping up with you guys and your future trips, especially if the wives give the okay to branch out and you guys have another trip somewhere else. That'll be fun to keep up with.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks so much. Well, for Greg, I'm Josh Decker, and this has been another episode of Off the Deck.